For detailed instructions and safety warnings, refer to the assembly guide and the operator's manual. There are assembly tools provided with the riding mower: 12 and 14 mm and 13 and 15 mm open-end wrenches, a Torx wrench, and an Allen wrench. You will need to provide a 6 mm hex bit, torque wrench, tire pressure gauge, and a socket wrench with 12 mm, 13 mm, 14 mm, and 15 mm sockets, a socket extension, and scissors. Step 1. Unpacking. Set aside all accessible packaging and wrap from unit and parts. Do not discard the packaging material until you have carefully inspected and have satisfactorily operated the product. Remove all boxes containing loose parts, assembly hardware, and documentation, and place where easily accessible. Carefully set aside the assembly tools to prepare for the mower assembly. Use socket wrenches or provided open-end wrenches to remove the bolts securing each corner post and brace to the frame bottom. Then remove the post and corner braces. Then remove the bolts and straps securing each wheel strap to the frame bottom, using the same sockets or provided open-ended wrenches. Warning: metal tire straps are under tension. Inspect all parts carefully to make sure no breakage or damage occurred during shipping. If any parts are damaged or missing, please call 1-800-860-4050 for assistance. Note: mower should be assembled while positioned on the frame bottom. Step 2. Connecting the battery. When shipped from the factory, the mower's batteries are disconnected. To connect the batteries, remove the wiring cover by pressing the tabs on both sides and lift the cover off. Then connect ends of the battery quick connect plugs together. Before reinstalling the wiring cover, install the seat as described next. Step 3. Installing the seat. Remove the bolts and the flange nuts from the seat mounting brackets. Next, place the seat assembly over the mounting brackets and align the holes. Reinstall the bolts and flange nuts on both sides and tighten securely using the 14 mm socket wrench or provided open-end wrench on the bolts, and the 13 mm socket wrench or provided open-end wrench on the flange nuts. The flange nuts should mount on the inside of the mounting bracket. Route the seat safety interlock cable through the hole of the wiring cover, then attach to plug on the seat. Reinstall wiring cover and make sure it is securely seated with the interlock cable running through the wiring cover opening. Step 4. Steering column assembly. Remove the bolt in both the upper steering shaft and loosen the bolt in the coupler. Install the upper steering shaft into the coupler. Rotate as needed to align the hole in the shaft with the bolt hole in the coupler. Using the 6 mm hex bit or provided Allen wrench, install the 2 bolts into the coupler and tighten securely and torque to 6 foot-pounds using the torque wrench. Next, place the steering column over the shaft. Make sure the tabs on the bottom of the steering column insert into the holes in the opening and confirm that the steering column is securely seated. Install the steering column cover so that it is seated securely onto the steering column. The upper steering shaft will protrude through the opening in the cover. Next, install the flange washer with the flange up, then the spring, and the second flange washer with the flange down, and then the steering wheel hub onto the upper steering shaft. Make sure the mower's wheels are pointed straight ahead. Install the steering wheel over the wheel hub, followed by the flat washer and flange nut. Using the 13 mm socket with extension or provided open-end wrench, tighten the flange nut securely and torque to 6 foot-pounds using the torque wrench. Lastly, install the steering wheel cover by snapping it onto the steering wheel. Step 5. Installing the bumper. Remove the flange nuts and hex head bolts securing the bumper cover to the mower frame on both sides. Insert the bumper into the openings at the front of the mower frame. Align the holes in the bumper, the mower frame, and the bumper cover. Then reinstall the hex head bolts with the flange nuts on the outside and tighten securely using the 14 mm socket wrench or provided open-end wrench on the bolts and the 13 mm socket wrench or provided open-end wrench on the flange nuts. Repeat this step on both sides. Step 6. Checking the tire pressure. Check the air pressure in all the tires before use. Improper air pressure will affect handling, steering response, traction, tire life, level cutting, and operator comfort. Be sure tires are inflated to 20 psi. Step 7. Driving the mower off of the packaging frame. Once assembly is complete, raise the cutting deck to its highest position. Make sure the direction control switch is in the neutral position and the red blade engage knob is down. Install start key and turn to on position. Change the direction control switch to reverse. Slowly and carefully drive the mower off the frame in reverse while looking down and behind. Note, for forward removal, remove the 2 posts at the frame base. Raise the cutting deck to the highest position, then place a ramp next to the frame base. Caution, driving the mower off the frame in the forward direction without a ramp can cause damage to the mower's cutting deck. Step 8. Final preparation. This mower features a safety interlock system to protect the operator by shutting off the blades if the operator leaves the seat with the blades running. Test the system to be sure it is working correctly. Make sure the direction control switch is in the neutral position and the red blade engage knob is down. Install start key and turn to on position. Raise the red blade engage knob to activate blades. Briefly lift off the seat but do not get off the mower. The blade should shut off within 5 seconds. If they don't, shut the blades off by pressing down on the red engage knob and then verify you connected the safety interlock cable as described in step 3, installing the seat. If the cable is connected but the system still doesn't function, contact customer service at 1-800-860-4050. Do not operate the mower until the safety interlock system has been repaired. Step 9. Charge the mower. Mower batteries must be charged overnight before first use. To verify mower batteries are fully charged, check the battery level indicator. To charge, insert charger plug into charging port on mower, making sure it is properly connected. Then connect the charger to a power supply using a normal household current 120 volts, AC only, 60 Hz. Remove the charger from the mower once it is fully charged and ready for use. Make sure to always charge the mower when not in use and do not charge in an area of extreme heat or cold.